Hello out there, everybody. Becky and Aaron here.
Hello.
So we wanted to do a quick video here about the stresses that you go through from day to day, and when you come home, not taking out those stresses and those pressures on the one you love the most.
It's a no-no.
It's a no-no, and it happens a lot. You know, we all deal with things from day to day. We deal with coworkers, we deal with traffic, we deal with pressure and stress from the work world, and if you work outside the home, or if you're working in the home, or if you're retired or anything like that, we all have things that go wrong during the day, and we all have other people that we have to deal with. And this can, don't you think, this can make your irritation meter throughout the day just
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
slowly gets
Oh,
warmer
yeah.
and warmer by the time
Oh,
the
yeah.
end of the day comes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what happens is you try to tolerate people during the day and traffic as best you can without freaking out on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal. Get through the day without freaking out.
Talk to the cable guy.
Talking to the cable guy. And so you're doing your
Talk to the
best,
IT guy.
right? You're doing your best to behave yourself. And what this does is you're expending energy trying to behave yourself.
The 7,000th spam call
Yep.
that's called your phone.
Yep. And you're going through your day, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 10 things that go on, and by the end of the day, you're usually pretty well spent. Your energies,
35,000 of them have happened.
right? Your energies are spent. You're exhausted.
You're a puddle on the floor.
You're sitting in traffic on the way
You're hiding
home.
under your desk.
You right. Try
Hoping nobody else comes in so you can get out of the
yeah,
office.
trying not to get caught.
Or you're hiding in the bathroom hoping the kids don't knock on the door.
Trying to wipe your tears away so your coworkers don't know you're in the bathroom crying. So you get home, and
The cat's throwed up on the floor for the 700th time, or pooped, or whatever, where they shouldn't have.
so there's a million things that you just have to endure through the day. And the problem is your tolerance levels have a limit, and you can get right up to that limit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could walk in the door, and I know this happens to a lot of people.
You've done so good all day long.
We've talked to a lot of people, and this is a common problem. This is why we're doing this video. You walk through the door, and maybe your spouse or your kids or someone says something,
The one you love the most.
just a little snarky, just a little spicy, and that's it.
You're
It's
snarling.
You've just gotten tipped over the edge. And then, the one that you love the most, you're in your protected home. You just want to come home and relax, and then the fangs come out, and the claws come out. So this is a danger for all of us. And
Yes.
we got to remember that, this person that we've dedicated and committed the rest of our life to spending with, they're the ones that we need to treat the best out of
Yes.
everybody in the world, don't you think?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we want to make sure we're on guard with our attitude
Mm-hmm.
and our disposition. So, absolutely. We want to treasure them above all.
Mm-hmm. And it's hard to do because
Yes.
we have irritating things that happen,
Oh, God, yes.
and we all want somebody that we can vent to and that we can talk to, but we have to avoid the temptation to turning it into an attack, because when you're venting, you're kind of on the edge of irritation.
Yes.
So you got to make sure you don't turn that venting session into an attack.
Yeah, because they're your support. They're not your enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's not their fault that things went bad during the day.
Right. The stuff that happened during your day is not their
Right.
fault. Right.
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 So, like, I can use yesterday as an excuse or as an example. I am now retired from my paying job. I'm not retired from the church. So that keeps me pretty busy. But I got one of those weird scam calls, but they were so good. I mean, I never get, like tricked. And these guys had a sergeant, a captain, case numbers. They had the actual like legit names of the judge, the court reporter. They had the right address, the right room number, everything about the a subpoena that I had not responded to, citation numbers, blah 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 blah.
And it was all fake.
It was all fake, and it was, had me thinking that I had a warrant out and that I needed to get to the bank to pay the court, and on and on and on and on and on. And, I get to the bank, and of course I'm asking the bank, this sounds fake, far-fetched. And of course I ended up hanging up on these people. But, you always want to make sure that everything, But I mean, they had me going for at least an hour. And thank God, you talk to your bank, you get to the bottom of everything. But, this is why people fall for this stuff. So that was pretty stressful. That earlier that morning, for some reason, I was throwing up. I didn't make it to the bathroom. I threw up on the floor. And if for those of you who've had a stomach bug, the last thing you want to do when you're throwing up is clean up your own puke. And pardon my, graphic, description. And, and so you're doing that. And then, what was it? Was it midnight the night before, 1 o'clock in the morning? I'm getting, my phone is just lighting up, and I'm a light sleeper. So I'm looking at that, and somebody had hacked my Prime account. They had like $27,000 worth of stuff they were ordering, equipment. So thank God I went in there, changed my password, canceled everything. But some of this stuff went through because Amazon has stuff in the warehouse that they instantly ship. So I'm trying to deal with all that. And then the day just kind of went on and on and on like that all day long. And, thank God, I could have easily been on the attack. Mm-hmm. But thank God we've been on this road long enough that it was just kind of like, oh, honey, I've had a horrible day. Mm-hmm. And, and his response was, I'm so sorry, honey. It wasn't, here's some advice. It wasn't, oh my gosh. Or it wasn't, just this long, list of what I coulda, shoulda, done, unsolicited advice, or, this, that, or the other thing. But it was just, I'm so sorry, honey. I guess the only piece of advice he gave me was, just get in the bed and, hang out with the kitties, and so that's the kind of thing that I needed at the time, was just I'm sorry, what a horrible day, just maybe take it easy for the rest of the day, because it had already been like 8 hours of drama.
And none of those things were things that I could fix. There was really no solutions to them. And there's no way to be ready or prepare yourself mentally for a crazy scam call from somebody that says they're the Seattle sheriff, from the sheriff's department, and they're calling from the courthouse phone number. You can't prepare for that kind of stuff. You have no idea where these people are at.
Yeah, and they were calling from the courthouse number, because I'm Googling it, and they're able to clone the number of the sheriff's department. And so it was just so crazy, and the day just went on and on and on like that, and it went on like that till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's not all resolved yet, because Amazon is taking their own sweet time and da 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 da. But stuff like that, if you're not careful, maybe he could have tried to tell me, well, you should have done this, you should have done that, and I would have been like, But thank God we've been on this road long enough, and we've learned not to try to give each other unsolicited advice, just to be there as a listening ear. And even, I don't know, he could have even said, is there anything I can do for you, or whatever? Right. And do you need me to bring you home some 7-Up or whatever? Even that would have been okay.
Ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream, that goes the way to my heart. But yeah, so that was just yesterday. And that was just an example of a day that, is totally out of my control.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do anything about it either, except just kind of ride it out.
So,
and not attack him.
right.
Like, meh.
And that's a good opportunity, no matter what my day was like, is to recognize she had a crazy stressful day. So anything that I went through that during the day, if I came home annoyed, I needed to be strong enough to put that on the shelf, because you both don't want to vent at the same time. You want to kind of try to take turns if you can. And if one person has had a real hard day, put your own needs aside for to try to be a comfort to them. And then the shoe will be on the other foot in a couple days. But you kind of take turns, whoever needs the most support, because you're really there to comfort and help one another. And try to avoid not biting each other's heads off, because you always tend to be the harshest towards the people that are there for you, the people that love you, the people that are going to be there. You tend to kind of be, you let your hair down and you let your true colors out, so to speak.
Yeah.
You kind of tend to be harsher towards them. I don't know what that's all about, but it should really be the reverse. Not that you want to be rude or horrible to other people in the world or at work. But it's just kind of this mindset that you come into the house, and that's not necessarily the end of your stresses, so you have to almost like double your guard when you come home, because there's gonna be times when one or both of you say things that are rude, or you bite each other's heads off, because none of us are perfect. We're all gonna slip and make these mistakes, and we're going to respond poorly, because we have these annoying things called emotions, and we have these limits of our patience, and trying to give each other the benefit of the doubt and give each other some grace, and just be like, you know what, if she or if I responded poorly to the other, just let it set for a minute. You don't have to always respond. Just kind of think about, well, that was kind of rude that they said that like that, but then think about what kind of day they had. Oh, they had this and this and this, so they're probably kind of on edge. So I want to, be extra respectful, extra careful.
Right.
And, a lot of issues can be alleviated if you just spend a little time thinking about them and the kind of day that they had, instead of just falling into the trap of thinking about yourself all the time.
Right.
We all by default think about ourselves way too often, and way too, just too much volume about what about me, how do I feel, blah 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 blah, and we don't spend enough time thinking about.
It's really hard to do when you're having a bad day. So, I mean, you're making it sound super...
Because it's all you can think about.
You're making it sound super hard or super easy, but it is extremely difficult when...
Yeah, I'm not trying to make it
when
sound
all...
easy.
No, I just want to, just add to it that even though verbalizing it sounds easy, not that you're making it sound easy, it's just when it comes out of your mouth like that, it sounds super easy. But when all you're seeing is red in the day and you're coming home hot... the last thing you want to do is give way to someone else.
Coming in hot.
Yeah. You're upset. And then, to give somebody else the opportunity for it to be their day, is like, what? And just to be able to, it's their turn to have a sad sack fest or whatever. That's tough, but we've got down here that there's nothing more powerful and comforting than a spouse that has your back and supports you. So when you give them pole position in that, you're actually strengthening your marriage. They can trust you, they count on you and rely on you in such a great way that it won't be as hard for them to take kind of the back seat next time, or more and more knowing that, you've taken that back seat,
Well,
you
and
know.
don't you think it settles you down when you come in hot, the person comforts you and
Mhm.
listens, and after you kind of go through whatever your venting
Mhm.
business that you need to do, they're not trying to give you advice unless you ask for it.
Mhm.
You kind of just you get it out and you're like, hey, I feel better. They're there with you.
You
They're
know,
not getting irritated. This is, I
you
mean,
just
what a
kind of
comfort. Right. Yeah.
and then there might even be time left in the night for them to get to vent too.
Mm-hmm.
You never
Mm-hmm.
know. I mean, sometimes there's still time left in the evening, and you're their sounding board, and you don't want this to turn sour, because it can. And you know I wrote down here that it can be hard, but that scripture isn't in there for no reason, that we want to lay our lives down like Christ did the church. I mean
Mm-hmm.
that, and I know that it says, men do this for women, but I think that we should reciprocate that for each other,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a powerful thing that if we can do that for each other, there's no greater love. So.
Well, and you kind of set the tone and the atmosphere when you walk through the door. The first word spoken or the first interaction, you kind of got to get in front of that and realize, especially if you've had a hard day or if they've had a hard day, make the first things you say to each other be sweet, be
Mhm.
extra sweet, and embrace them. Give them a
Mhm.
hug, give them a kiss, hang on
Mhm.
to them for at least 15 seconds. Just
Yeah.
make that, because what you're doing, you're kind of setting, don't you think you're
Mhm.
setting the
Oh
atmosphere
yeah.
for the rest of the night?
Yeah.
You're not coming in and rah, rah, rah,
Yeah.
you're already setting yourself up for failure if you
I
do that.
I had it written down somewhere and I sent it to you. I wish we could find it, but the reason it's 15 seconds is that is a like scientific. It's a reason that if you embrace each other for 15 seconds, like you're a full body hug,
Mm-hmm.
is there's something about like endorphins are
Mm-hmm.
released, and it does something to like triggers something, not just in your mind, in your brain, but in your
Mm-hmm.
body. So there's like a whole chemical thing that happens, and it triggers when it does that with your endorphins. It does all these things, like it calms
Yeah.
with the anxiety, and like it actually helps like with your like reduces stress,
Yeah.
anxiety, aging. I mean, seriously, it was like a whole list. Do you remember me texting
Yeah.
that to you?
Yeah.
I wish that we
All
had it
awesome
here for,
stuff.
yeah. It
All
was
awesome
like,
stuff.
yay, weight loss. No, I'm just kidding. But there was like, seriously, it was a great list. I don't know, it was like 7 things or something. If
Yeah.
somebody has the list, write it in the comments. But maybe we'll find it when we're off of here today. But when I was working, before I retired, I still do this to this day. If I have one of those kind of days, is a best practice that I always did is I made sure that I would pray on the way home. I'd put on some good gospel music, and it was usually like some really wonderful gospel music, and I would or whatever music that you find enjoyable, that would really get you like,
Something relaxing.
oh, whatever's relaxing to
No
you.
Metallica.
Yeah. Some people like classical music. Some people like, music with no words. But for me, it would be like real, like, like gospel music, and just I would just praise and worship, and then and also just praying and praying and praying, and just getting my mind kind of washed and out of that whole
Mm-hmm.
environment. So by the time I came home, I was ready to be in a totally different heavenly environment. And so then it
Try to
wasn't.
leave work at work.
Yes. And, I had the kind of job that I didn't get to leave work at work, but by golly,
You
I
tried.
was trying my hardest that
Mm-hmm.
when I came home, I was not in that zone, that I was trying to bring heaven into the house, and thank goodness, we would, you know, created an environment here where it was heavenly. But that's always something that I think I would encourage people to do, is whether you work inside or outside of the home, before your significant other is getting here or you're coming here, pray, worship, get your mind right, so then you're not coming in with an attitude, or you're not bringing in the trash.
Yeah.
You've already
Well, and
let the trash
it
go.
does something for, like, if the man's out working during the day and his wife's home, it does something for the man too. It's not just a feminine thing. It does something for the man too, to know that your woman's there taking care of the house, and when you walk in, she's happy to see you. She
Mm-hmm.
loves that you're home.
Mm-hmm.
She embraces you, and she
Yes.
understands, you've had a hard day, you're tired, you're getting
Mm-hmm.
old, and she just is totally just
Yes.
adoring and respecting you for, providing for her and
Mm-hmm.
recognizing that. That makes it all worth it, when
Yes.
the kids hang on you, and when you come home and the kids hang on you and they're happy to see you, and she's happy to see you, you smell some good food cooking. All these things kind of settle you down and let you know, it's worth it. What
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it for them. It's worth it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So these are some things that have worked for us, and we hope it's been beneficial to listen to this. We just think, we want people to have the best chance at success in marriage, to recognize these triggers and these pitfalls and these areas that can get you in trouble. And a
Yes.
lot of times it's some of these daily activities that kind of
Mm-hmm.
over time they either build up for the good or they build up
Right.
for the bad and create resentment. So
Yeah.
we want to make sure we're building positive environments, and that
Mm-hmm.
we're doing all we can do to cultivate a good relationship, and considering the other person. I mean, these are the hallmarks of a successful, long lasting marriage.
Yes. We don't want to purposely aggravate each other if
Mm-mm.
we can at all, you know,
You want to
at all
know each
avoid it.
other's trigger
Mm-hmm.
points.
Yep.
You want to know each other's red flags,
Yeah.
and don't push those buttons if you know
Yes.
where they're at.
We
Yeah.
want to try not to be easily offended, you know, because sometimes I hate to say it, but when we're being naughty, we are going to press each other's buttons.
Mm-hmm.
And so if the other one can avoid being offended, if at all possible, and then be quick to forgive. And
Yeah.
because,
So you're gonna have lots of
sometimes,
opportunities to forgive each other.
sometimes we're naughty.
Yep. You almost have to try to race each other to forgive,
Yes.
because you are gonna irritate each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally normal. You're gonna offend each other.
Yeah.
It's normal. It's just every other person, every other marriage has these things. So you got to be quick to forgive. Don't hold grudges.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hold on to resentments. Get issues out in the open.
Yeah.
Talk about them. Don't sweep things under the rug. You almost have to let each other know that, hey, we need to figure this out if there's some
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah, you can never, what do you always say? You can, well, we both say this. You can never over communicate, but
Yeah.
you can definitely under communicate,
Yeah.
if that's even a word.
Yep. Yep. I think it is. Now it's a word.
Yeah, we're making it a word.
Yep. All right, folks. Well, we're happy to be here with you again, and like and subscribe these videos on YouTube. Live for More for her. That's with the number 4. And then also Live for More 310 for me. These will be posted on Facebook, Instagram, and put your comments in there and let us know if there's anything you want us to discuss. We'd be happy to discuss it when we can get to it. So God bless you all, and we will see you next time.
Love you.